Hello Sagittarius, welcome to your reading for May the 30th through to the 6th of June 2026. And as always, it's going to be a journal reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. And yeah, let's welcome in the Archangels, Ascended Masters, light beings such as the Arcturians, Pleiadians, Sirians, Andromedans, Blue Avians and many others. And of course our higher selves and any other spirit guides or ancestral, animal or dragon guides that you feel resonant with, Sagittarius. Okay, let's have a look here. The Ten of Pentacles, the High Priestess, Wheel of Fortune, the King of Cups. Very interesting. Ten of Pentacles, High Priestess. At the moment, Sagittarius, I think just recently you've started tuning into your inner wisdom. I think you're really moving into this beautiful space and energy of patience, of holding space, of tapping into your deep inner knowing. And there's also Ten of Pentacles here, so this is like a legacy. There's something that you are, I guess, manifesting, or an energy that you're putting out there or that you are being, that is, it's sort of creating a legacy of some sort. Okay, and it's also helping you to feel abundance on probably in many areas of your life at the moment, which is really awesome. We could also interpret this as if you are spending time creating your legacy, maybe it's just for you to remember also that for you to tune inward, Sagittarius, okay, which I kind of feel you've been doing this anyway. High Priestess, that's really awesome. Let's grab some more cards here. We'll see what's happening at the moment. Two of Pentacles, so yeah, being creative and adaptable. Seven of Swords at the top there. You also have the Nine of Wands and the Three of Swords. So an underlying theme here. Actually, let's go to this current energy first. Two of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. So there's something here that, and maybe this is to do with you accessing your psychic gifts, your inner wisdom, talking about that High Priestess there, that energy. You may also be using some mental strategies here with the Seven of Swords. The High Priestess is a very kind of inner energy, a little bit like the Hermit. But the High Priestess is also about divine timing and really exercising a lot of patience with something. And maybe, you know, at these times, maybe you are needing to exercise patience in order to gather more information about something, to process some strategies and things that you're going to use moving forward. And along with that, you're also going to be, you're being called to, I think, move into this energy of creative adaptability. So being flexible, Sagittarius here as well. But probably also like juggling many things in your life, or several things in your life. And maybe what you are juggling at the moment is literally this, this idea of your bringing your practical skills and abilities into creating a legacy. Maybe you're balancing that with your inner High Priestess, so your inner gifts and talents. And maybe you're going to be integrating these two. And you know, this makes sense as to why you are going through some inner thought processes here to sort out how you're going to integrate those two aspects of your life. Because the High Priestess is a very strong energy, and maybe you've been feeling into that recently. And, you know, maybe there's an aspect to that within your underlying theme here is to do with your healing. So I feel like your wisdom self is wanting, or you're sensing it's wanting to come forward more. And that this in itself is a healing thing that you are going through. because you have done so much already here with the Nine of Swords. You've really mastered a lot of things in your life, Sagittarius, or even one or two particular things that you've become really skilled at. And yeah, you are really going to be, I think, working on healing this. If you feel like there's been a rift between your practical life and your intuitive self, I think you're really going to be working to bring those two things together. As well, general direction moving forward is, yes, King of Cups, holding space for your emotions, your intuition, your creativity, your spirituality. Okay, very similar to the High Priestess, although the Kings are a little more practical. So it's almost as though I think this is a nice blend of that legacy energy and the inner High Priestess energy, because your inner King of Cups here is that energy where you're going to be able to take care of practical needs, okay, and also have the self-compassion and self-understanding to allow yourself to move into those other states of consciousness to do with your inner wisdom and your intuition, okay. And the Wheel of Fortune here is to say that, yeah, this is cyclical. So whilst you may be dealing with the material world, then there will be times when you will be going inward and contemplating your inner soul, your inner wisdom, and activating that in some way perhaps. And then you may be dealing with practicalities as well. So this is the cycle here. The Wheel of Fortune talks about the ups and downs, or the moving into one phase and then moving into another phase. But this is like a repeated, I feel like this is going to be, because you're integrating here, this is a continual cyclical process that's going on, but as you do this more over and over, it's going to feel more integrative. It may feel a little rough and clunky at the start. Maybe it has been feeling rough and clunky, and maybe now it's feeling less like that. It's more smooth. So maybe you're able to transition from practical daily things into your intuitive self more easily. Or perhaps there's something that, you know, maybe you're using your intuitive gifts in a practical way, you know, or intuitive, you know, certainly creative as well. Outcome, Ace of Swords, yeah. I think there's a coming together and there's a clarity now. Or there certainly will be, you know, in your outcome. You also have the Page of Pentacles, which is really nice. Two of Pentacles, again, interesting, yeah, and the Hanged Man. So let's look at this first. So we talked about that integration energy, and I think this is, you are getting clear as to, okay, you are feeling like you need to integrate these two aspects of yourself in your life, your inner spiritual self and your external practical self. And here is the Page of Pentacles, which is interesting because this is like in a very spiritual environment. There's a dragon here, like in a cave, almost like a hermit's cave. But he's looking at something here, the pentacle, which holds a lot of wonder. It's practical, it's earthy, it's grounded. So this is almost, and also inner child here because of the page energy. So maybe there's something, a message that your inner child has for you, Sagittarius, as to how you're going to integrate these two aspects of yourself, being the practical and the spiritual aspects of you, okay? And here we have also in what you may not be aware of, or a challenge, but I think maybe this is something you're not so aware of at the moment, possibly. This is the Two of Pentacles again. And it's that in order to integrate two things, you will need to, you know, take some time out here, Hanged Man. And this is contemplating mind, body, spirit oneness. Excuse me. Sometimes with the inner priestess, it's inner high priestess, it can feel a little bit like it's a very still thing. Okay, so we're just activating the mind or deactivating the mind and meditating. We're very meditative and still with the high priestess. The Hanged Man is still very spiritual, but integrating the body, so the movement, the actions, even, you know, connections, activities, things you're doing in the external world, whilst being in a meditative state and having connection to your higher self and your spiritual self as well. So this is a very embodied spiritual energy, and this is what you're integrating, okay, which is really awesome. Let's grab some spirit guidance as well for you, Sagittarius. Star, yep, also came out in the pre-shuffle. Knight of Swords and the Emperor. Wow. Well, this is fascinating to me because the Emperor is a very externally focused energy, very grounded in the material world. Remember, we're talking about this practical aspects and the spiritual, and here we have the Star, really aligned to soul, spiritual self, but also very healing. So this is kind of the spiritual energy, and this is kind of the practical energy. And I think because you're applying these mental strategies in order to integrate these two aspects of yourself even more so, okay, in your life at the moment, possibly. You have the Knight of Swords here, and this is the knight that carries the sword of truth. This is about you finding your personal truth here, Sagittarius, which is probably going to be a new combination of these energies for you, and it may play out differently in your life to what it has done previously. Your sword of truth also activating your communication skills as you need, and your inquiring mind here, Sagittarius, your ability to analyze, to make decisions, but also to use the breath. The suit of swords is also that suit representing the element of air. So using the mind-body breath connection could be one of the strategies that you use as you transition from spiritual into practical, or to help you to combine the two, okay? And I think this is maybe what you are evolving to now, is a combination or a synthesis of these energies. Whereas initially it will feel like you're going into spiritual, then you're going into practical self, kind of one or the other. But I think it's going to evolve into a joining. And like we've said, the inner child, your inner child, Sagittarius, may have a clue for you as to how that's going to happen. And we have a flip here, the beautiful rose pink dragon. This is awesome. Okay. Prepares your heart to connect with the higher facets of the cosmic heart. Yeah, that's nice. Heart is, that unconditional love energy, also sort of a very inner child energy, okay? Underneath it also says, open your heart to warm-hearted love and diamond light. Connect with the love of the universe. And love is a very holistic thing, okay? So it's a very, it's a synthesis. So if you're moving into, as you're doing things, practical things and spiritual things together, if you feel like they're sort of separated, if you can raise your frequency and move into your heart space and lift your heart frequency, maybe use some music or something like that, and then really just meditate on how can these two parts of you come together, and how can they be expressed in the world in a combination, if you're looking to do something like that, okay, Sagittarius. This beautiful rose pink dragon here could be of assistance, and definitely, if you're doing chakra meditations, this one would be really beautiful to use for a heart chakra meditation. Yeah. Let's look at the bottoms of the decks as well. The Hierophant. Yes, this is perfect because it's that actually this whole reading in a nutshell is this here, Sagittarius. Your inner Hierophant is that part of you that is simultaneously connected to the physical matter in the physical world, as well as being connected spiritually. Okay, so this is a beautiful synthesis of those energies for you. And here we have the priestess, the high priestess again. Oh my goodness. Sagittarius, I think you are probably getting some downloads. I think you're getting some assistance from higher frequency friends, right? in galactic collectives, spirit guides, you know, possibly ascended masters, archangels, those types of energies. I think you are very receptive and open to those energies at this time. High Priestess twice in your reading. Okay, that does not happen very often. Here we have the Queen of Swords, another beautiful synthesis of heart and mind together. Sword and the Queen is the feminine element of water. So yeah, emotions and or heart and mind together. Yeah, so this could definitely be, you know, maybe you're bringing your heart mind together, and you're going to be creating a new legacy as a result of that, or a new way of life, or a new type of abundance for you. Okay. And here we have, just to round it out and balance things, we have the Five of Pentacles. And this is just a reminder for you, Sagittarius, that you don't always have to do everything alone. And also that help can come from unexpected places, from unexpected sources, and to keep an eye out and an ear out for, you know, if you feel you need assistance with something, then, yeah, you know, just being aware that help can come from unexpected places. Well, let's have a look here, because the 5 is the number of change, so you're going through a bit of a shift at the moment. I think you're definitely going through a bit of an upgrade here. Excuse me. Let's grab you a Lemurian Star Child Oracle. Earth and air. This is very synchronistic, because we were talking about the earth or the matter, and also air or like higher consciousness, okay? Or the ether, right? Also this idea of body and breath, okay? Body being that earth and the air being the breath. Underneath here it says stabilization, physical integration, and mental clearing. So bang on with your Hangman here. This is like physical integration of the spiritual, okay? And this is going to be very enlightening for you as you go through this process, Sagittarius. Stabilization, yeah, because you're integrating, you're going through a stabilization process. Physical integration, yeah, I think what's happening here is that you are embodying, your spirit, soul self is becoming more embodied. And this is why we have these two things here, High Priestess, these two energies, with this 10 of Pentacles here. So you're really bringing down that spiritual energies into physical matter here. And it's going to be no small thing, okay? This is possibly going to be creating a whole new legacy, a whole new sense of abundance for you in your life, Sagittarius. This is really awesome. I really love that, earth and air. And here we have like an eagle, or in terms of animal spirit guides, if you have a, you know, it may not be an eagle actually. It could be. There's an eagle there and a snake, sort of snake representing the earth, obviously, and the eagle representing the air there. And also tuning into your animal spirit guides can also be a really great way, because animals are often quite intuitive. So tuning into your intuition, but they're also very physical. So animal spirit guides could be assistance for you there as well, Sagittarius. So this is a really fantastic reading for you. Yeah, very synchronistic, a lot of things matching up here. You've got 2 twos of Pentacles, 2 High Priestesses. You know, you've got this ace, higher consciousness here. You're probably getting some downloads, moving into high states of consciousness, and this beautiful rose pink dragon here as well. So literally mind, heart here, heart, mind. Okay, this is what you are more than likely integrating together, as well as that idea of your practical everyday self and your spiritual self as well. So I hope that's been helpful, Sagittarius. Look forward to your next reading. In the meantime, have a great day, a fantastic week. See you again soon. Bye for now.